Most bicycle shops, equipment is front and centre. Clothing is kind of off to one side, it's kind of at the back. It's kind of forgotten about, especially actual garments like jerseys and bib shorts. So clothing it was something of an afterthought for a long time, and also back in the kind of 90s and early 2000s, cycling clothing wasn't particularly great looking either. It wasn't very tasteful. It wasn't anywhere near the look of modern athleisure of, an elegant, like thinking about looking good whilst you're exercising. It was purely about performance, or it was purely replicas of professional team kits, which are covered in advertising slogans and logos and stuff like that. And what we wanted to do, the reason Rapha came to be, was to bring forth a bit more thought and understatement to how you dress on the bike, and make it closer to how you dress in real life, and also try and make the clothing more comfortable to wear. Also to think back about how natural fibres work again with you when you're, needing to stay warm, needing to stay cool, needing to feel comfortable. So with that in mind, about 15 years ago, we came up with this, which is the classic jersey. This is the Rapha classic jersey. It's originally called the Rapha Sport Wool jersey because the fabric is a merino sport wool. There's things that features like, instead of the pad, I don't know if you've ever worn padded cycling shorts, but
yes.
a lot of the time the pad is a single flat entity. It's like a big flat
really big
diaper style pad.
Exactly.
That once you're on the bike, you kind of sat on it. It's
Yeah.
between you and your saddle.
Yeah.
But when you're off the bike, you have this kind of wedge of foam in between your legs. So we were one of the first brands, if not the first, to cut that pad in half so that it folds, so that when you're off the bike, it actually just behaves like a normal pair of pants. It folds, you don't feel like this huge material is there, and also when you're on the bike, it wraps around your saddle a little bit more efficiently. You feel less like you're floating on the saddle, you feel like you're really gripping it.
Let us know about your store concept. If you just can tell us a little about how long do you plan before you do a new store concept?
Sure, fantastic. So we like to kind of explain the general concept of story is that we take the point of view of a magazine, we change like a gallery, and we sell like a store. Kind of using that magazine analogy, we are planning anywhere from a year in advance to the very next theme, much like a magazine is preparing for the issue about to go to print, and they're preparing for a future issue. But the bulk of planning will happen about 2 to 3 months before a store opens. This is when we're doing the kind of deep dive into the planning process.
Do you do everything in-house, or do you have use an agency?
Sure. So the bulk of what we do is in-house. What we like to say at Story is that we know a little bit about a lot of things, and if we do need to lean on an outside agency or group that knows more about something that we're less knowledgeable about, we will, in terms of perhaps construction or not. But the bulk of planning and the idea process is happening in-house. Our store team and our office team and our owner and founder, Rachel Sheckman, is very involved in kind of planning the creative process from the beginning and that ongoing everyday process.
What do you think about the importance of the visual merchandising and the customer journey?
Sure. Well, we are extremely experience-driven at Story. That is paramount to what we do. In fact, the product curation is a key piece as well. It's something that separates us from other stores, but the experience is what makes us really such a unique concept entirely. So for us, they're sort of one and the same in terms of how things are laid out and the way that we do section items or group them or plan them, and then the engagement that our storytellers, which is what we call our store team, storytellers, their engagement is really driving that experience. So it'll be a mix of the visual merchandising and the product curation and placement, and then also we'll have activations as well. So we've done anything from yoga classes to cooking demonstrations to authors launching books with signings, just depending on what the theme at a given time is. We really like to fill our events calendar as well to create a compelling reason to come into a brick and mortar retail store beyond just the product.
How do you work with sustainability?
So we do have some key focal points for us, and unfortunately we can't focus on absolutely everything at all times. There's a lot going on. So that isn't necessarily a prime aim of Story with the ever-changing nature. But of course we're going to be mindful we can. We reuse fixtures wherever possible because we do change the tables, the floors, the walls. So we do reuse as much as possible to avoid just discarding and being disposal.
Do you see any differences in the response of the store concept? For example, use of playful color, exclusive feelings, or so?
Well, I think because we do a new theme about every 3 to 8 weeks, the feeling in the store does change pretty consistently. That's one thing that is consistent, right? Is change.
Exactly.
The only constant. And so each of them is going to kind of create a different emotional response or a different response, and we know that some stories will speak more to some people than others. It's hard to say that it's specifically the color scheme or the layout because sometimes it's just the entire movie of the space stations. Right now, there's kind of a circus atmosphere because we partnered with the movie The Greatest Showman for our holiday gift guide. We partnered with Nickelodeon at one point for our Remember When story. It was all around 90s nostalgia, 1990s, and so we had a lot of neons and brights and squiggles and swirls, and so that was very playful and a throwback. We like to change it up so that something will speak to everyone, and there's something for everyone in each one, but some will speak to people more than others, and that's absolutely part of the plan at Story.
So which marketing channels do you use to launch each concept?
Fantastic. Yeah, we have a couple. We have our announcement list, which is when people want to receive an email to announce when a new story is opening. And some retailers send emails very frequently. We send them fairly infrequently. We want it to be unique and precious and noticed. A flood of emails. So we send an email when a story is about to open, and then sometimes a reminder when one's about to close. And if it's a longer story and we're having a major event in the middle, we'll kind of let people know about that. But we like to keep the focus on just letting you know what is the current theme that you should come and explore and discover.
What do you think about the future? What is the trend?
I think because of the frequency with which we change our theme, we can respond to changes very quickly as well. We're not committing to anything for a year or 5 years at a time. When we choose a product or even a table or a flooring, we're committing to it for 6 weeks sometimes. So we're able to be very responsive to changes in the market or trends. And we just like to make sure that it's fun for us, who we're working with, and what we're doing. And as long as it's interesting and engaging for us, people generally come along for the ride with us. Yeah.
Great, Danny. So thank you. It was so interesting.
Well, thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us. And please come visit us next time you're in New York.
Oh, yes, I will.
Anyone else, please feel free to come in and see what story we're telling when you're here.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.